101 TKO Radio. Woohoo! Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome back. It is your girl. Y'all know what we doing tonight. We have them bedrooms of life, those dictational conversations with your girl, your favorite sexologist and real life erotica author, Jade's Desire. Woo! Yeah, we're gonna have some fun tonight, y'all. What's up, super producer? You doing all right?
Hey, I'm doing all right. Can't complain.
Very good, very good. We're gonna have fun tonight. You gonna if you think you were squirming in your seat last week, we're gonna squirm some more tonight. So we're gonna have some fun. We're gonna keep it clean though.
Oh Lord.
You ready?
All right, let's go.
All right. So for those of you that are just now tuning in to this very wonderful show, this is show number 4. This is show number 4. Very excited. Oh, show number 3. Okay, show number 3. Very excited. So if you're just not tuning in, I give sex tips, no relationship advice. So no questions on relationships. I just give out good sex tips, good sex positions, things to do, what not to do, how to do it, how to swing from it, how to tie it up, how to, everything else. We came up with some creative words last week. We did some orgasmically spitting, so we had some fun with that, trying to keep it clean. But if you're just not tuning in, the very first week, we talked about those uncomfortable conversations, and it's not really uncomfortable conversations that couples have just wanting to do something and engage in something differently during sex, how to have that conversation, how not to make your significant others feel uncomfortable, how to relate, how sex and food correlates. I gave, different ways of going out and just being open-minded to the conversation, how to have that conversation. And then after that, we talked about safe words. We gave the verbal and nonverbal safe word cues. Everybody's favorite for whatever reasons, thanks to Kevin Hart, it's pineapples, but it's more than one safe word out there. Super producer, did you come up with a safe word yet?
No, I did not.
See, now you're supposed to come up with a safe word.
Okay. I'll make sure I do my homework, teacher.
Okay, all right. All right, so we talked about all that, and then last week we deep dived into the role of flogging, BDSM, kink, the differences, what BDSM is, how to get into it, how to be safe with it. So this journey is just literally all about sex and having a good, fantastic, ooh, can we say, or we can say orgasm. Yeah, orgasm. Woo-hoo. We're going to have some fun. So tonight, if you are not following us on the 101 TKO app, you're losing out, because that's where all of the information is posted for all of the shows. And it's 101 TKO Radio on all platforms: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. What am I missing? Facebook, TikTok. So everything is posted on there. So tonight, we're talking about daydreaming. We are talking about sexual daydreaming, sexual fantasies, how to use your imagination, and, just coming up with something fun, something to do, those H2O dreams that, that are real. And believe it or not, people still have H2O dreams. And if you don't know what H2O is, it's wet, it's water. Duh. But, just trying to have some fun with the lingo, make y'all think a little bit. So we're going to jump right into it after we come back from a quick little song. And then we're going to have as much fun, talk about sexual fantasies, that they are very healthy. And there's nothing wrong with sexual fantasies. There's nothing wrong with using your imagination. Because if you have an imagination, guess what? You're finna have some good old-fashioned great sex. I will be right back in 2 and 2. 101 TKO Radio. Welcome back. Welcome back. You are in the bedrooms of life, those dictational conversations with your girl, Jade's Desire. So we just got to finish listening to Do Me Baby, and it kind of ties into our topic that we're talking about tonight. Like, if y'all think about the words to that song, and y'all knew the background to that song, like, he literally instructed everybody for Do Me and International Lover. He didn't want anybody in the studio with him. All the lights and stuff were out, and it was just him, because y'all know he played a bunch of instruments and stuff like that. So it was just him using his imagination. He was in the studio by himself when he did Do Me and International Lover. If you think I'm lying, look it up. Like, listen to the lyrics of International Lover. He is by himself. He is by himself with this, and just think about, like, the lyrics to what he's saying. Like, he wants you to do whatever you want to do to him. And who don't want that? Like, no holds barred. Well, there are some limitations, but for the most part, it's, no holds barred. He's like, I'm telling you, do me until I can't take no more. And yet again, that's when that safe word comes in, and I'm pretty sure his safe word was not pineapple. I'm pretty sure it was purple or some erotic. I could just see him just having some type of real outlandish safe word. Even if he had a safe word knowing him, he just probably had a look or something. But I mean, if you close your eyes and if you daydream and you listen to that song gonna turn you on. It's gonna put you in a different headspace. Those sexual ideas are going to come to you on what you want to do. Is just going to relax you. And that's what sexual daydreaming is about. It's not always about coming up with something crazy to do, because, some people think that having a sexual daydream or sexual fantasy is odd or bizarre. It's really not. If you're not having one, then that's something wrong. So what I found out was, and this is what I said, I want to make sure that when I talk to y'all, I'm giving y'all accurate information. And it's actually true, because it's saying that nobody wants to talk about their private fantasies, because everybody is so judgmental. But you are normal to have bizarre sexual thoughts and a fantasy, since that some people may want to carry this out and some people may not want to carry it out, but it's just a fantasy. Who does not want to fantasize about, oh Jesus, okay, I just went there. Who don't want to fantasize about something good, a good feeling being done to them? Like, you may see something that you think that you want to do. So guess what? Close your eyes, relax your mind, and just picture it being done. And then after you picture it being done, then guess what? You've either fulfilled that sexual fantasy, that sexual daydream, or guess what? You can live it out. Like, hey, babe, I was thinking about you while I was thinking about this position here. Don't you want to try it? That's where the rug burns come in at. Oh, yeah, I forgot my disclaimer. Super producer, you ain't remind me about my disclaimer. I got to put out my disclaimer. Taste for Treasures, Jade's Desire, and 101 TKO Radio is not responsible for any broken bones, tractions, or anything responsible for any type of incidents that happen from the positions that I give you. I am, however, responsible for rug burns, back burns, knee burns, elbow burns. That's the only thing that I'm responsible for. I encourage all of the above. But please don't wind up in traction, because I don't want anybody to be like, well, Jade told me to do it. That's why you come to class. That's why you book a class with me and be like, Jade, I heard you talk about this position. Me and my guy want to try it out. Or fellas be like, hey, I heard you talking about something that me and my girl want to try. Book me. I'll do a class for you. It ain't free 99 though. I'm telling you that now. But sexual fantasies, you have to use your imagination. You have to sit back and you have to just think about something. Think about something that you've always wanted to do. Think about something that you want to do. Think about something that is, prevalent to you, that you feel like that you want to have. And that's okay. And it is really okay, because guess what? You can say, that's how I want you to start out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start out and I'm going to give y'all the hum. I'm going to give y'all the hum for, to start. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all. I got distracted by something. I'm going to give y'all the hum. Super producer, stop laughing. I want you to sit back and relax. So, like now, literally, if you on live, I'm actually, closing my eyes. So, this is what I want you to do. Just relax. Close your eyes. Don't that sound good? You got to make it sound sexy. You can't be like, No, there ain't nothing sexy about that. You got to be like, How that sound, super producer?
Pineapples.
He said pineapples. But I mean, you gotta make it sound good. You just can't be out there just, you can't do that. That's not gonna want to turn anybody on. That's not gonna want to make anybody, want to jump your bones or like, no. You gotta put some sex appeal to it. You gotta make it sound sexy. And then after you sit down and you relax and you close your eyes and you see, then all those sexual thoughts are going to come to you. You may want to try Jackrabbit. I'm just saying. You may want to try Jackrabbit. We talked about the spider. We talked about the Amazon woman. I mean, we done talked about a couple different ones. So guess what? It's so many more that, you don't have to just stop at one. You don't have to stop at two. So I have a tagline, and I literally paid to own this tagline. So it is trademarked and copyright. So you can't take it on everything that I do. And if you're looking on Instagram, it's on my shirt. There are 69 ways to have an amazing orgasm, but one missionary way to ruin it. And that's where your imagination comes from. That's where your imagination comes in. That's where you're thinking about, like, you can just be looking at your spouse and just be like, boy, I want to, And guess what? He going to look at you like, hey, girl, come on, let's go. Who don't want that? But guess what? You got to have that imagination. You got to sit up, and you can sit and daydream about this person all day long, of what you want to do to them, what you want to say to them. And sometimes it don't have to be the actual sexual act. It could just be a thought. It can just be you just been thinking about him all day long, and you want to sit back and you want to, boy, I can't wait to get home because I just want to, it's one of those type of things, because you've been thinking about that person, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's just like, hey, stranger. It's just like, hey, I've been thinking about you. Because, I mean, guess what? I'm not going to give y'all relationship advice, but I will give y'all sex advice, because guess what? That's what I do. I'll send a text message in a minute. My tooth hurt. I need an oral conversation. Who uses a toothache to have an oral conversation? I'm just saying. But I said better than that. I'm just saying. But you have to be open-minded to it, because that's really all sex is just being open-minded. You have to be free-thinking to relax and sit back and enjoy this wonderful ride that you are going to go on. And just like somebody on Instagram just said, you hear the sound of seduction in her voice. Absolutely. Absolutely. And guess what? That turns him on. And I'm pretty sure that it does. He's like, come on, I'm waiting. And he ain't got to do nothing but let her lay down and take charge. I'm just saying. It's all about, yet again, being open minded, having that imagination, and just thinking, like, oh my God, I can't wait to see you. And guess what? You're going to close your eyes. Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm not talking about growling. I'm not talking about none of that. I'm talking about a moan. I'm talking about a moan. He said, hate being the ones to only have to speak up in romance. Absolutely. No, spark up romance. Absolutely. Men, I feel you. Because sometimes we hard-headed too. We hard-headed. And it's a two-way street because men want to feel wanted just like women want to feel wanted. You know, you got to put that effort in. You got to put in that work. And guess what? You put that work in, you're going to get that reward. And guess what? Twice a week, 3 times a week, you're going to get a dirty text message. And you're going to be at work, and that dirty text message come across, and you're going to drop your phone, and then your coworker's going to look at you, and then you're going to walk. For those that's not watching on Instagram, I'm raising my usher finger. You know how you walking out of church and you raising your usher finger because you're trying to hurry up and get home? That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Yeah, right, boss, I got to go. With that overtime that you thought that you was going to do, yeah, you're not doing that overtime no more because you know what you got waiting on you at home. And that's what it is. That imagination. And it's imaginations, it's sexual fantasies. Who don't have them? Who don't want them? Yep, church finger. Who don't want them? I'm just saying. I would love, I would love, who child? I've been thinking about you all day long. And when I see you, I'm just going to eat you up. Oh! Who's not going to like that? And guess what? The hotel, this is time I leave work from that hotel. I'm clocking out. I do my paperwork when I come back tomorrow. I run my reports. I put my numbers in. But guess what? Deuces. I'm leaving. So, all right, y'all. We going to come back in 2 and 2. 101 TKO Radio on all platforms. Give us a call, 404-349-7419, and I'll be right back. 101 TKO Radio, welcome back. If you're just now tuning in, 101 TKO Radio on all platforms, you are tuning into Bedrooms of Life, those dictational conversations with your favorite sexologist and real life erotica author, Jade's Desire. And tonight we are talking about sexual daydreaming, also known as sexual fantasies. So we're talking about that and how, it can enhance your relationship, give you that extra sexual spark that, everybody wants. So, and I'm pretty sure you want to know if it's normal. So like I said, every time I give y'all something, I want to make sure that I'm giving y'all, correct and accurate information as much as I possibly can. And it is very normal to have sexual daydreams. So what it is, and I'm going to tell y'all exactly what it says. Sexual fantasies are normal. It's an integral part of daily lives of every man and woman. So everybody, I don't care, male, female, non-binary, whatever, whoever, you should be having a sexual fantasy. Don't matter who you fantasizing about. Don't matter who you fantasizing with, because it's defined as any type of erotic or sexually arousing. It's like a mental thing. Like you can sit and you can look at somebody and fantasize about them. You can fantasize about them and what you want to do to them. Like, boy, I want to eat you up. Like, boy, you better stop. I'm just saying. That's how it happens. And fellas, when they see that girl, when they finna step out, and your girl done coming out with the shaved baby butter oil on, glistening, with the body powder on, showing some legs and a little shoulder, y'all ain't going nowhere. Because guess what? He is bad. Let me tell you, when he come out, freshly shaved, that head is shaved, that beard is trimmed, is lined up. He got on that favorite cologne that I just bought him. And he looking mighty dapper. It's going to be like that scene in the back of Beyonce's limousine when they did Partition. Driver raise up the window. I don't want you to see me getting on my knees for daddy. I'm just saying. Because guess what? We might not make it there. But there's nothing wrong with that. That's just a fantasy. Who don't want those type of fantasies? It can encourage a very, very, very healthy sex life. And there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with having a healthy sex life. It's not. Because I think if more people, because people are just out here having sex, they're not doing it right. They're just doing it just to be doing it. And so the bottom of our palm are Karens. The top of our palm are biddies. If you get what I'm saying. If the Karens and the biddies were orgasmically spitting, I love that word. If they were orgasmically spitting, or if they were having any form of climatic excitement in their life, they wouldn't be out here. And yes, I do believe that sexual intimacy heals all. You got a toothache? Guess what? Go have an oral conversation. You got a headache? Go have sex. Because guess what? When you have an orgasm, that's going to release those endorphins. You're going to relax and that tension is going to release. And guess what? The headache is gone. You need to lose some weight? Have sex. Because guess what? Having sex, that's 1,200 calories that you're burning off. So if that's all I got to do, guess what? I'm just saying, like the daydreaming, put it together, picture it, make it fun, have something to do with it. It's not, just have that, make the conversation stimulating. Make it stimulating. Have that conversation where you're both sitting up and you're talking. Close your eyes. You close your eyes. He closed his eyes. And let him visualize what you're saying. Let him visualize what you want to do to him. Okay? I want to see if I can do it. I'm gonna do it, but I'm not gonna get too graphic because my memory's so out there. My imagination's so out there. It's ridiculous. Okay, so we're gonna close our eyes and we're gonna think about it, and we're gonna picture. And I'm literally closing my eyes. So those on Instagram, yeah, I got my eyes closed for a second. So we're gonna close our eyes and we're gonna picture him. And we're going to want him to walk in the room. Just walk real slow to us. I'm just picturing him just walking close to me, biting his bottom lip. And guess what? He's dropping his drawers. Oh, my God. See? Something simple like that. It didn't hurt. It didn't hurt. And you just pick up from there. You just pick up from where I left off. And fellas, you do the same thing. Picture her coming out the shower, still wiping off. And just imagine what you want to do to her and tell her. And she, gonna clench her pearls and act like she don't want you to do it. But guess what? She wants you to wrap her hair around your hand and yank. Choke me, spank me, pull my hair. I'm just saying, who don't want that? Who wouldn't want that? I'm just, it comes with the territory. Use your imagination. Fantasize. Utilize that gift. Utilize that gift that you have. Utilize that imagination. Because you may think of something that your significant other was also thinking about. Like, hot dog. We was thinking about the same thing. Guess what? It is climactic. I'm just saying. It's all about having fun. It's all about knowing. It's all about that feeling. It's all about being able to just picture him naked. Picture her naked. Picture her playing the fiddle. And if you don't know what playing the fiddle is, inbox me, I'll tell you. I think super producer just got what I said, but I mean, that's what I call it. I call it playing the fiddle. I've always called it playing the fiddle because guess what? Ladies, if you don't play the fiddle, you can't tell him how to play the fiddle. You can't tell him what string to hit to get that chord. I'm just saying. But like I said, it's all about having fun. And then also, if anybody, I think I put it out there, on the next hour, in the 8 o'clock hour, if anybody has ever been to any of my events, my book signings, the business launch, anything that I've done, Sex and Food, I want you to give us a call and, we're going to talk about it. Let y'all tell me what y'all thought about any of my workshops or anything like that, good, bad, indifferent. Give me a call. Tell me your deepest, your darkest fantasy. You tell me yours, I'll tell you mine. 404-349-7419. Did I do it wrong again? What is it? Oh! Maybe that's why the phone ain't ringing. One day I'm going to learn this number whenever I think I got it. All right. So let's try this again. 678-439-7419. Maybe I need to write that down because, maybe that's why the phone's not ringing because I keep giving y'all the wrong number. But y'all also can post questions on the 101 TKO app on Instagram, YouTube, all of the platforms. You can definitely post. Tell me your fantasy. Tell me your deepest, darkest fantasy. All phone calls are anonymous unless you want to tell your name. You don't have to. But, you can give us an alias, 678-439-7419, 101 TKO Radio on all platforms. I'll catch y'all in a minute. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. 101 TKO Radio on all platforms. Bedrooms of Life. Those dictational conversations with your girl, your favorite erotica author. Let me rephrase that. Real life, because my books are real life. Your favorite real life erotica author and certified sexologist. So if you're just now tuning in, we are talking about sexual fantasies, sexual daydreaming, just doing something different to enhance our sex life, giving our spouse, significant other, situationship, partner, whatever you think, just giving them something to look forward to come home. And guess what? It's okay. So we I need y'all to use y'all imagination. And if you don't have imagination, I can give you a couple of tips. But the most important thing is just visualizing that person that you want to be with and visualize what you want to do to them. Think about it, mull it over, and make it sound sexy. Make it sound real sexy. I'm just saying, you just want to... Just like that. Not perverted. You don't want to be like, ain't nothing sexy about that. I'm sorry. There's nothing sexy about that. But it's all about feeling sexy when you do it. And guess what, fellas? You can feel sexy too, because we think y'all sexy. We think y'all sexy by the way that you walk, by the way that you talk, by the way you carry yourself. That swagger that you have, oh my God, that's just sexy. And it's sitting up here just thinking about it. It's just like, orgasmic H2O. Ladies, you know what that orgasmic H2O is. So we got orgasmic H2O now, and then we got orgasmically spitting. We are coming up with some clever terminologies, and I like this. I do like it. What do you think, super producer? Give me a thumbs up. Shake your head. You give me a thumbs up. I'll be coming up with some creative words. But, I mean, it's just literally all about, making sure that you are comfortable with what you're doing. And for those of you that are just tuning in on Instagram, those of you just tuning in to the radio station, we're doing Bedrooms of Life, dictational conversations. This is my third show, and we literally just talk sex, the education of sex. It's not just sex, but we educate to have people have better sex, couples have better sex. I don't care what your situation is. I'm not trying to get into all that. I'm not a relationship therapist. I'm not a relationship expert. I teach sex. Teach orgasms, how to, different positions, what you want to do, what you want to try, all those other things. That's what I teach. That's what I do. I don't want to know about your relationship. I don't want to know Johnny was with Susie last week. Johnny was probably with Susie last week because Susie gave him some wonderful oral conversation. And she ate the banana with the protein in the middle. I'm just saying. That's probably why. So I don't want to. I don't want to hear about. I'm sorry. Am I not supposed to say that? Super producer, am I not supposed to say that?
Hey, telling it like it is.
But I mean, I'm not a relationship therapist, and I'm not a relationship expert. So I don't want to give out, that's what I'm doing, because that's not what I'm doing. I'm a sexologist. I'm teaching about sex. So if I'm not supposed to say that, then I smack my hand and I won't say that. But I mean, I'm just saying, it's with me, it's all about having a better sex life. And guess what? It's not all about the action of sex. It's the mental of sex. Because if you can make somebody have a mental orgasm, baby, you got that person. I swear to God, you got that person, because if you can brain freak somebody, I'm just saying, that my leg is shaking. That's the best thing in the world, to give somebody a mental orgasm. It is. It's just amazing. And people need to understand that before you can have the physical act of sex, you got to have the mental act. And that's where these fantasies come in. That's where those thoughts come in. That's where that elevation comes in. You have to rise up and be more than just, you just got to be more than just the act of it. You got to be able to know, like, hey, I'm going to mentally make you have an orgasm. Mentally. And guess what? If you close your eyes and you can picture what that person is saying, and it can be education. You can meet somebody that's so smart, and you just like, oh. And then you sit up there, you looking at a brainiac. You looking at a nerd, and you getting turned on. Nerds are freaky. I'm just saying. Don't let them glasses and that pencil pouch fool you. They're great with their hands. I'm just saying. Or is it just me? I think it's just me. I don't know. But this hour, if you have been to anything that I've had, my business launch, my book signing, any of my book signings, or any of my workshops or any of my classes, maybe I'm going to give y'all the right phone number this time, because Super Producer told me at the end of the last show I was giving out the wrong number. So let's try it again. 678, not 404, 678-439-7419. Y'all got to kind of be easy on me. This is only like week 3, so I'm still learning. But if you've been to any event that I've had, give me a call. Let's talk about it. Good, bad, indifferent. I want to know your thoughts, because getting ready to do some big things. Let's do some housekeeping. On April 20th, 101 TKO Radio, Women Are Dope. This is our wonderful Chelsea Speaks. This is her 3rd annual event. It's a real big thing. It's a lot of vendors. It's a lot of dope women. This is an event that you don't want to miss. So please get your tickets to join us for that. What else we got? I think that's the biggest thing that we got. The Women Are Dope that's coming up April 20th. On yesterday, I'm excited about this. On yesterday, I did a interview with Rolling Out Magazine, and I am so excited about that. I am so looking forward to that. That's just going to be so dope. I'm so excited. So as soon as that becomes available, it's going to be everywhere. So I'll let you guys know, and, we'll go from there. So I have a question. Do you think that sexual daydreaming stops with a certain age, Super Producer?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Mm-mm.
Why not?
Because it all depends on the person. If the person is still, I believe they still sexually active or mentally, I don't think, it stopped. Now, it could, as they get older, that's they don't have those desire no more, or that's the least thing on their mind, But for the most point, I guess it just depends on what's their age limit or whatnot, per se.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be Blanche. From the Golden Girls, I'm going to be Blanche. I'm Blanche. I'm sorry. I've always said that I'm Blanche.
And I can see that.
Thanks. Thanks. But honestly, which is true, what he just said, that the older you get, your daydreams increase with your age, which is amazing. You would think that the older you got, the less you thought about it, or the less you got interested. But nope, the older you get, the more your sexual daydreams and the more your sexual fantasies increase. So I'm going to take that as, with me, with my experience, I'm just going to take all my experience, bottle it up, and create the person that I want to create, and use my imagination to do every little filthy, dirty thing that I can think of, which is a lot. I do must say, which is definitely a lot. So, but if you all have any fantasies that y'all want to share, I see y'all posting them on Instagram, and I'm replying on Instagram, but give me a call. We're going to do it right. 678-439-7419. And that's what we're going to talk about. So give us a call, 678-439-7419, 101 Tico Radio on all outlets, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube. You can post comments, ask questions, any of the above, and I'll be right back with you. Welcome back. 101 TKO Radio. You are listening to The Bedrooms of Life, dictational conversations with your favorite real life erotica author and certified sexual. Ooh, I was going to say sexual submissive. Jesus Christ. Your certified sexologist, Jade's Desire. We are talking about sexual fantasies and sexual daydreams. And it seems as though that for some strange reason, threesomes are the biggest fantasy. I want to know why that is. Threesomes are the biggest fantasy. After threesomes, then you have, well, that's one of my threesomes. And then you have, like, my favorite is playing dress up. That's a fantasy. I also enjoy, and I want to say maybe these are like the top 5, and I'm not saying my top 5, but just talking to people. So let me take that off. Threesomes are at the top. Dressing up, like role playing, dressing up like a teacher or something like that. Going to a bar and acting like that you're just meeting for the first time. You know, those are fantasies. Those are things that, you know, you can picture yourself doing. You can play nurse and doctor, you know, and if you want to get nerdy with it, you can be the chemistry teacher and the science experiment. Experiment on me, daddy. Why not? Why not? Why not? We might come up with a new lube. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Like, it's just so many, it's just so many ways to have fantasies. It's so many ways, there's so many things to do to spice up your sex life. You just have to be open to it. You just have to be open-minded. You have to visualize what you're doing. You have to close your eyes and just think about it. You have to close your eyes, relax your mind. I mean, for those of you that meditate, those of you that do yoga, just sit down, relax your mind, relax your thoughts. Think about your most inner thoughts, your most inner desires. Think about the things that you want to do. Think about that happy place that he or she puts you in. Think about it. Thinking about laying on the floor with her crawling up to you, just hair down, lips popping, and she's just crawling up to you. Fellas, can you see it? Ladies, think about him just standing over you, raising your leg, kissing your foot, kissing your leg all the way down, caressing you. Can you feel it? That's what a fantasy is. That's what it's supposed to feel like. That's what it's supposed to sound like. It's not supposed to sound like, come here. Not at all. That's not what it's supposed to sound like at all. It's not. It's supposed to be sexual. It's supposed to be inviting. Because if you notice, like once I relaxed, my entire tone changed. And it was relaxing. And it was inviting. This ain't my first rodeo. I'm just saying. I'm good at what I do, and I love what I do because sex is just, some people say sex is a game. It's a cat and mouse game. Some say sex is tic-tac-toe. I'm just saying. It just depends on what game you want to play. It just depends on what you want to get out of it. It depends on your thought process, your mentality, how you want to feel, what you want to do, how far you want to go. Like, there's nothing wrong with pushing your sexual limits. It's not. And guess what? There's no such thing as too much fantasizing. You can fantasize all day, and ain't nothing wrong with it. And don't let somebody tell you that it is something wrong with it, because guess what? It's not. Who are they to tell you or dictate to you what you do with your life behind your closed doors, as long as you're not hurting somebody. But then again, that's BDSM, so you might be into it. I'm just saying. Choke me, spank me, pull my hair. Super duper, can I get that next? I'm just saying. It really depends on what you want and what you're into. It's like every time I think about it, I can feel my voice changing because it's like I start fantasizing, I start thinking about it, and it's just all those ideas and all those thoughts, and I can picture laying down with him holding my leg, kissing my feet, caressing my leg. It's intimate, it's inviting. What better way to have a great night? And guess what? It's going to be a long lasting night. It's going to be a passionate night. And that's what you want. You don't want to have to, unless you're just purely flat unhappy. Sex don't solve everything because there are some times that, you just sick of that person. But with the biggest problem in relationships is sex and communication. And that was my very first show. You have to be able to communicate. You can't communicate, you can't have a healthy relationship. And without a healthy relationship, you can't have healthy sex. So communicate. Write down your pros and cons. Write down what you want to do. Write down how you feel, what you're thinking about. You can even write down a fantasy. Fantasize. Think about it. If you don't know how to fantasize, ain't nothing wrong with that. Write it down. Just say, I think this is what I want to do. Write that down a couple of times because, there's a saying that says when you do something 20 times, it becomes repetitive. Then that's when you do it. So if you start saying, I think that this is what I want to do, and then you take think out of it and you say, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to feel. Then you begin to think it. You begin to feel it. You begin to know it. You begin to embrace it. Because, like I've told you all before, not a freak. I live a very sex-experimental lifestyle, which means exactly what it says, sex-experimental, because that's literally what sex is. You're experimenting with sex. And guess what? There's absolutely nothing wrong with it. Absolutely. Erotic Enterprise. I need y'all to call in 678-439-7419 so we can talk about it. So this is what is amazing about this platform that's been given to me because since I've been doing this, I'm not going to even say since I've been doing this, since I've been growing up, y'all, I've had so many sexual conversations and it's like people they want to know how to do it. They want to know how to do it, but they're afraid to talk about it. But guess what? Everybody has sex because we got here from having sex. So it's like, I don't understand. You got to be able to enjoy what you're doing. You don't want to just be laying there because you're not going to have that orgasmic H2O. You're not going to have that. And then you're going to have to use lube. That's not going to be fun. Who wants to use lube during sex? Not at all. Who does that? Not I, said the little mouse. I'm just saying. I'm just saying it's more than. And as soon as people realize that sex is more than, then I do believe that everybody will be okay. Just like I said, sex is mind-blowing. Sex is mental. Sex is spiritual. Sex is physical. It is emotional. It is amazing. But guess what? It's not always interactive. You don't have to physically have sex with somebody to get that pleasure that you're looking for. Like I just told you, you can mind freak the freak out of somebody. For real. You can mind freak somebody. And guess what? You got that person for a lifetime. You got that person for a lifetime, and there's nothing wrong with it. Absolutely nothing. Go home. I remember when I was with my son's father, Valentine's Day. No, this wasn't even Valentine's Day. I think we only had been dating for a little while. And me being the person that I am, went over. And guess what? He knew I was coming over, but I had got me a short pleated skirt, a little bitty top with a bow tie, some thigh high tights, and some heels with a long trench coat on. And that's how I went over his house. I think that's when I got my son. I'm not sure, but I'm just saying. It's simple. He did not expect it. I did not tell him that that's what I was doing. It's not. It's not hard to do. It's not hard to do with the apple of my eye now. We were hanging out, and I have this one piece fishnet. It's just a one piece fishnet outfit, and they got the hole in the crotch. We was just hanging out. Guess what? I took that trench coat off and some heels, and that's all I had on. Guess what? He enjoyed that because he was not expecting it. I had a fantasy. I had a thought of something that I wanted to do that I knew that he would enjoy. Fantasies are amazing because guess what? You can bring fantasies to reality. Or they can just be a fantasy. It can be in your head. And guess what? I'm not saying think about one person while you with your spouse. Y'all not finna blame that on me. Y'all not finna say, well, Jade said I can think about Tom while I'm with Peter. Absolutely not, I didn't. Absolutely not. What I'm saying is it's okay to fantasize and think. So we need y'all to call in. Give me your fantasies. 678-439-7419. I see the chat is going off. Thank y'all very much for, replying and talking to me in the chat. So listen on all platforms. We're going to do 101 TKO Radio. We got Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all platforms, 101 TKO. And we'll be back in a minute. 101 TKO Radio. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are heading towards the end of the night, y'all. It has been fun. It has been amazing. I hope y'all learning something. This is my third show. I'm excited. I'm excited. This is my third show. And for those that are just tuning in on Instagram or on the radio, this is Bedrooms of Life. Dictational conversations with your favorite real life erotica author, The Real Thoughts of a Sexual Submissive, Volume 1, The Real Thoughts of a Sexual Submissive, Volume 2, The Making of Jade. You can get those books anywhere books are sold. So we've been talking about just coming up with different ways to fantasize, different fantasies, how to just spice up your sex life. And, even though this is the end of the show, I'm going to put my disclaimer out there. Jade's Desire, Tasteful Treasures, 101 TKR Radio, super producers laughing at me. I am not responsible. We are not responsible for broken bones, tractions, neck collars, neck braces, anything like that. However, I am responsible for rug burns, knee burns, elbow burns, and back burns. I am highly responsible for that. But if you wind up in traction from a position that I told you, you didn't follow directions, nor did you book a class, because I'm just saying you can't be out there like that. But I mean, this has been fun. We've talked about fantasies, letting y'all know that it's okay having fantasies. We talked about the top fantasies, which are threesomes. Have a threesome. Have a threesome. There's nothing wrong with it. Have a threesome. A threesome let me know what I did not like. I'm just saying. I think that's something that you have to be comfortable with doing. I think it's something that you need to have a conversation about doing. And you got to be secure with it. But I think everybody, if they're into it, let me rephrase it. If they're into it, I think you should try to experience a threesome, no matter how the threesome that you want. And no, it grinds my gears when I hear a man say a woman with two men is a train being ran on them. It is not. Uno, dos, tres. 3 people. Stop being a hater. If you can get your fantasy with 2 women, why we can't get a fantasy with 2 men? And then we're going to wind up in the Eiffel Tower. I'm just saying. Now, that's a dope position. That's a fantasy to have. Y'all need to look up Eiffel Tower. And guess what? Ladies, do the Eiffel Tower. Have the men lift you up. I'm just saying. That's a fantasy right there for you. Super producer, would you ever do an Eiffel Tower? He probably gonna say no.
I don't know. I mean, I ain't never. I don't even know if I even. I mean, I ain't never seen the position. Well, I probably seen it, just don't know the name of it. But.
Eiffel Tower is exactly what it is. You got a dude right here in front, a dude right here in the back. Y'all literally giving each other high five, and she in the middle. One in the front, one in the back. I'm just saying. That's amazing. I'm just saying, y'all. This has been fun. So, we are getting ready to round out the night. Stay tuned. Like I said, April 20th, we got Women Are Dope that's coming up. That's from 2 to 8. That's going to be amazing. Our amazing CEO, Chelsea Speaks. That is her event. This is her 3rd one. She has it annually. The 101 TKO founder is going to be there to support. A bunch of dope women, a bunch of dope vendors. Yours truly is going to be there. Come by, buy a book, say hi. Check out the whole team. We all going to be there. We all going to be a family. And, we just going to vibe out and have a good time. So, closing out, I have my books. And I have something in there talking about daydreaming. It dawned on me when I was talking about it that I do have something that's in the book about daydreaming. And keep in mind, this is real. All right. So the title of this is Daydreaming. Is it fake or is it reality? You ready, super producer?